This video will take you through the 7 different exercises for Lab 1 in my COMM 317 Digital Foundations sections. We're going to start here with Illustrator. This lab kind of shows you some of the basic functions of the Illustrator Pathfinder tool, also how to create a clipping mask, and then some of the functions of the image trace. So to start with, we're going to open our file that's called mypathfinderexamples.ai, and then you're going to set your initials in 2 different colors with stroke on them. So I'm going to click here on the Type tool, and I'm going to click. It gives me lorem ipsum. Move that up to 72-point type. Change the initials here to RM, and I'm going to change this to maybe a little bit of a thicker typeface, which will work better for this particular exercise. I'll take Cooper Standard here. All right, so right now Illustrator sees this as type because that's what you just made. You just made some type. And for us to really edit it and work with it, we need to turn it into an object. So to do that, while I have this object selected with my selection tool, I go to the Type menu and I say Create Outlines. Now, as far as Illustrator is concerned, these are no longer type characters. These are shapes. The other thing I want to do is we see one bounding box, and I want to see these as separate objects. So I'm going to do Object, Ungroup. Now, when I click on it, those are separate objects. Okay, so when I want to change the appearance of this, and I want to put stroke and fill on it. Right now I've got black fill, no stroke. And if your appearance menu is active, you'll see that here. If not, go down to your appearance menu under the window menu, and you can pick it up here. I'm going to put fill on here as, let's go with something orange that you can see very well. And then for stroke, I'll put about a 3-point stroke on there, and now we can see that that's got a black stroke with orange fill. I'm going to do the same thing with the M, except I'm going to put a different color on the fill. Maybe I'll go with something purple, and then a stroke of 3 points, and there's that. Now what I want to do is overlap these objects, and so I'm going to, with my selection tool, click and drag the M over the R, and I can either have the M in front, or if I want the R in front, I can simply go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back, and that puts the M behind the R. Now what I want to do is group them again, so I'm going to select both of them. You can just use your selection tool and click and drag like this to select multiple objects. I'm going to group them. Okay, and now, let me zoom out a bit. I'm going to duplicate this object, and I can click on it and do Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste, and drag it into position. Or another way I can do that's a little faster, if I hold down the Option key, which you can't see, but I'm holding down the Option key right now, if I click and drag, it just makes more copies. Yes, I got it. Okay, now let's go to our Pathfinder functions. What we want to do is see how all these different functions work. So I'm going to go to Window, Pathfinder. Bring this back up so we can see it. And I've got these shape modes and Pathfinder modes all in the same order that you see here in the window. So to do a Unite, I select it and then click on Unite. And that's what the Unite looks like. It combines those two. Okay, minus front, you might be able to guess, is going to get rid of the portions that are in front. So click on that. and it gives us that kind of an outline. And as you start to work with lots of different shapes that overlap in Illustrator, you'll find that these Pathfinder functions, you might have to experiment with them with every different shape that you create, but they can give you lots of different effects and lots of different ways of creating or emphasizing a certain part of an illustration. So let's do the exclude, divide, trim, merge, crop, outline, and minus back, which should get rid of the back part, right? And there we go. So that's just a simple introduction to some of the different functions in Pathfinder. Now for your assignment, what you'll do is you can save this file, and then for what you upload to Titanium, you'll do a file, save as, and then instead of making it an AI file, you're going to want to upload this as an SVG, a small vector graphic, and go ahead and save it as something like, you know, your name. Save as, and the first one's done.